So the next concept that we come along in our studies on the SAT grammar is called the parallel construction or parallelism. The concept of parallelism is the same as you generally consider. Parallel statements are at least a set of two. So there have to be two parts to a sentence. So whenever you have a sentence which have got two parts, part 1 and part 2, both these parts have to be in a sentence, have to be constructed identically. So these are identical construction of parts. So parallelism simply states that if you have a word pattern within a sentence, by repeating a chosen grammatical form, it has got to be the grammatical form itself that repeats. So basically, if you have a sentence that has a verb form of to or the infinitive, the whole sentence should have a verb form of to plus verb and not some other form like, say, the ing or the gerund form. That is what the parallelism, the concept of parallelism means. Example. So let's take an example. The employees were upset. The employees were upset by the company's low pay, poor working condition, and that they did not have enough outlets for their creativity. So item number 1 or part number 1, part number 2 and part number 3. It is evident that they were upset by what? The company's low pay, 2, the poor working conditions, and the third part is definitely not parallel, doesn't go with the same grammatical form as part 1 and part 2, and that they did not have enough outlets for their creativity. So this has got to be rephrased. So let's rephrase this. The employees were upset by the company's low pay, poor working conditions, same part 1 and part 2. We have rephrased this, and the shortage for employees' creativity. So this now becomes a parallel structure. This is what, in nutshell, parallelism would mean. It's a very simple concept. It has got to maintain, all parts of a sentence need to maintain the same grammatical form. It might be a noun-noun form, a noun-noun-noun form, maybe if there are 3 parts, verb-verb-verb, or a gerund-gerund-gerund form, etc. So there are basically 2 basic inconsistencies that we might find in a parallel sentence. Number 1, we might find inconsistencies within a parallel list. So it's the most simplest way of parallelism. Whenever we have a coordinating conjunction of 1, 2 and 3, we must understand that all the 3 parts have to be grammatically parallel. So let's take an example. Sonia is known for her independence, part 1. Part 2, her honesty and being intelligent. Again, incorrect construction, and her intelligence probably is a better way of stating. So this one is the correct version. Sonia is known for her independence, her honesty and her intelligence, while this is not parallel. And then other than the parallel list, you might have a parallel phrase. So this is a parallel list, 1, 2 and 3. More often than not on the SAT you will find a parallel phrase, something of this sort. The SAT writing section challenges students and frustration is found in them. Challenges students and frustration is found in them. Item 1 and item 2. This is the coordinating conjunction which demarcates the two. Let's analyze the form. Challenges student is a verb plus noun. This is evident, challenges and students. What about frustration is found in them? It is a frustration is found in them is a noun, verb, adjective, preposition, plus pronoun construction. So definitely the LHS is not equal to the right hand side. This is not a verb plus noun construction on the right. So you must get it somehow or the other to a verb plus noun on the right hand side. So the correct one could be verb plus noun and frustrates them. Again, verb plus noun or pronoun, either ways. So this is the correct one. This is how parallelism on the SAT works. There are two more things we need to understand. One are the parallel markers or the parallel elements. So parallel elements are the markers on the left hand side and the right hand side of the coordinating conjunctions. They probably, for all practical purposes, let us mark them an X and Y. So you have a parallel element on the left and you have got a parallel element on the right with a coordinating conjunction adding these two. The coordinating conjunctions could be of two types. One, the open markers and the closed marker. The open markers are and, or, rather than. It might have an n number of list attached to it, and the closed markers would have two of them, as for example both and. So both this and that, either this or that, nor this but that. These are all closed markers wherein you will only have it as a set of two. A third introduction to the list is not valid. So let's use this to do this kind of an example. This is very rare on the SAT, but then still let us understand this. I want to retire to a place where I can relax and pay low taxes. As we can understand that this is and this is an open marker. This is not a closed marker. So this cannot be between I can relax and I can pay low taxes. This has got to be where I can relax and also and where I can pay low taxes and where I can do this and where I can do that. So this is not a closed marker where it is the choice between A or B or X or Y. It could be n number of items. So in this kind of an open mark, we need to repeat this word where. So I want to retire to a place where I can relax and where I can pay low taxes. In a nutshell, any list within a sentence will have a possible error in the parallel structure. We must look at it from that perspective. Phrases connected by conjunctions may indicate parallel structure and break down the construction of the parallel or the phrases separated by conjunctions and the items in a list to find out if there are errors on the SAT. Stay tuned. The next section will be an extension of the parallel structure, which is called the comparison, or more logically, the illogical comparisons between two parts or more than two parts of a sentence. So stay tuned.